I know that there's somebody out there that might disagree with what I'm about to say, and that's all right. Because I got something that's been sitting heavy in my chest, okay, for the last few days. And I'm going to go ahead on and say what I feel needs to be said, okay? There's a man sitting on the highest court in this land, the Supreme Court of the United States, and his name is Clarence Thomas. Now I want you to hear me before you come for me in the comments, okay? Because this is not about his skin color. This is about what he has done with the power that the struggle of other people has put within his reach. Clarence Thomas got into Yale Law School through affirmative action. He said so. The very policy that opened the door for him, he spent decades on that court working to slam it shut for everybody else, okay? Now, I'm a historian, right? And I know what that looks like. I've seen that playbook before. There's an old saying, and it is old. It's rooted in wisdom, and it's earned the hard way. This old saying says, all skin folk ain't kin folk, okay? Zora Neale Hurston, she knew it. Thurgood Marshall, he knew it. When Thomas was nominated to replace Marshall, Marshall made it plain. A black face in a high place doesn't automatically mean your interests are being represented. Got it? Representation without advocacy is just decoration, isn't it? And here's what makes it sting differently than plain old political disagreement. Clarence Thomas didn't just benefit from the struggle, he used it. He climbed the ladder that black sacrifice, black blood, black legal brilliance built, and then he turned around and kicked that ladder down. Dare anybody else to try to climb it. That's not a philosophical difference. As far as I'm concerned, that's a betrayal. And his wife, Jenny, she was neck deep in the events of January the 6th, and he has refused to recuse himself from cases connected to it. The ethics questions alone should have everybody around here alarmed about that. But here's what I need you to sit with today. The presence of a black face can be used to, let's say, legitimize harm. Sometimes more powerfully than if a white face had done the same thing. Why? Because it provides cover. It confuses people. It makes them question what they know to be true. Now, don't be confused, family. You can love your people and hold your people accountable. Those are not opposites. All skin folk ain't kin folk. And as a historian, I always follow the record, not the optics.
Clarence Thomas must resign.
I'm just a civil servant.
And if he doesn't, well, if there was ever a case to impeach a Supreme Court justice, this is it. For years, Thomas failed to disclose flights on private jets, super yacht trips, and stays at resorts he received as gifts from a Republican megadonor. Even though the Supreme Court has no legally binding code of ethics, and justices remain among the least accountable people in our government, legal experts claim that Thomas violated federal disclosure laws when he failed to report the free travel he was gifted. But at the very least, he's violated the public's trust and corruptly exploited his position of power to subsidize a life of luxury. Enough is enough. Supreme Court justices clearly can't be trusted to police themselves, and Chief Justice Roberts has shown little interest in holding justices to account for numerous conflicts of interest. The Supreme Court is facing a serious legitimacy crisis, and failing to hold Thomas accountable will only make it worse.
About this kind of stuff, about racism and all that, it's because I have the franchise on it. My black father, Officer Paul Hill, he was a police officer in the 70s. He used to walk the beat, 26 blocks south, 26 blocks north, back to Georgia and Peabody, 4D, the 4th District, right? Metropolitan Police in Washington, D.C., that's where I'm from. The most dangerous black man in this world is a black man that wants to get closer to whiteness because he hates what he sees in the mirror. That's my father, Officer Paul Hill. He's a good fucking cop, though. Good fucking cop. Awful fucking father. So that's what Clarence Thomas is. So I know who Clarence Thomas is, because that's my father. And let me tell you why. I hope you're sitting down. You can't keep running in and out of my life. Keep running. My father left my mother when I was 9. People break up all the time. I've told this story a million times here on TikTok and on Instagram and on MySpace. MySpace. So, people break up all the time. No big deal. He left my mother and us for a white woman. I'm saying this part for context. That same white woman wrote us a letter every week for a year or so. Inward, 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 inward. Addressed to my mother. If my mother called her house, she'd say, your family will never be anything. Your sons and daughters will be killed and murdered because they're nothing. But she's married to my black father. My black father is 6'4", built like a brick shit house too. And unfortunately, I look like him. So, my black father allowed this shit. He allowed it. Is that crazy? Hold on for a second. Don't go anywhere. When he left, he took the car. He took all of the money in the account and my mother's money from the bank account. He completely destroyed 5 black children. That's what happened to me yesterday when I was cooking. See that right there? Anyway, 5 black children just destroyed our lives, but almost destroyed our lives. Almost destroyed everyone's life but mine. Everybody else, yeah, it's rough for them. All my other siblings. And mind you, because of all of that, I don't speak to them. I had to divorce them because they're toxic. But that's a whole other talk show. My father, then, my mother took him to court for child support. My father then disputed that, got a whole plan in place, came back into our lives like 4 years later, bought us gifts for Christmas for 2 years straight, and my birthday. I was like, oh my God, I kind of have my father back. It was just to set the whole situation up, to then get the child support reduced in half. So we would get $137 a month because we were on welfare, food stamps. You know, the orange and the green and the purple.
You would have got here. Sorry for cutting the video short. So let's just dive into this. And if you're new to this account, please just subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Very, very important. Guys, like, I've been thinking about it. This dude has been in power for a very long time. It's high time he needs to calm down. He needs to step down and face it. I know, I know it's unremarkable him getting to the top. Yes, from person hard, getting his form to study law stuff to the judge. I know that's not easy, but he has done a lot. Getting to the top, we're expecting you to back the black, to help, to get things better, but instead you're doing the negative. And you've been in this seat for a very long time. It's high time you need to drop down. You need to like go down. Like it's been a long time. Like you need to just leave that power and give it else to someone else. And this is unfair. The same you that was against this, now you against, like, do you want to be white? Do you want to change your skin color? Or because you can't beat them now, you decide to be them. Does that make sense? What are your children going to say? What are your grandchildren going to say? That's unfair. And you also being unfair to your kids. Come on. You tried. Come on. That's unfair. I don't have much to say, but I guess I just hope the law takes its place. I just pray so because I know you're the judges, but it has to take its place. Guys, I want to hear your comments. I want to know what's your thoughts because I don't have much to say, but I want to know your thoughts. Please, let me get your thoughts in the comment section. It's very, very important. And also, if you're new, welcome to my YouTube and subscribe and like. Thank you, guys. Let's continue.
Food stamps. We were on food stamps. 5 kids. They got that reduced. So by the middle of the month, hold on for a second. I hope you're sitting down. We had no more food. Can't keep running in and out of my life. Keep on running. This is Clarence Thomas. He allows Jenny Thomas to use the N-word. She stopped some parade from happening, I think, in Delaware, somewhere. I forgot where, maybe Connecticut. Look this up. Don't believe me, look this shit up. But that's my stepmonster. My stepmonster, when I was in my
down,
4th year of therapy, I found my father via a private detective. And the homework for me was, I'm getting a little emotional, so bear with me, okay? Was find him and ask him these 3 questions. One of the questions was, why did you leave us? I found my father. He came with my stepmonster that he was still with. And he says, hold on, I hope you're sitting down. I didn't want to be married to a black woman with 5 black kids anymore. I shook his hand and I said, thank you. I stood up and I left and I said, I know who he is. But now I really know who he is. He's Clarence Thomas. A black man that hates what he looks like in the mirror, what he sees in the mirror. That's the most dangerous man in the world, especially to the black community. My granddad, Buddy, which you'll hear about when you come to my restaurant, he owned 3 dump trucks. He was an entrepreneur. That's where I get my confidence from. And my cooking, by the way. My mother didn't cook. She burned hard-boiled eggs. Keep running. Can't keep running in and out of my life. Keep on running. So, I want you to understand, it's real. And I know folks listening to this that are black are like, yo, I know a dude like this. Oh, that's my pops. That's him. He's Clarence Thomas. That's Chef's dad. My father, after I met him for the therapy, never, ever doubt me up again. Or, never tried to, talk to me again. Because I doubt him up. And, see, when I was cooking for all these celebs and all that shit, and I was a top chef and all that, my circle and my spaces were all white. So white men know that I'm in a different tax bracket. So they're like, Chef Brian, you don't want to pay anyone's insurance, do you? I'm like, I don't mind if that's what my taxes are for. Oh, you're better than me. That's my general white man's voice. And I'm like, oh, they trying to Clarence Thomas my ass. They trying to Clarence Thomas my ass. Okay. So understand something. Stand up for everything you believe in, because I am. I have everything to lose, but nothing to lose. You're not gonna stand on my shoulders and call yourself tall. You won't. You won't. You can't beat me. I've already been through it. You can't outsmart me. You can't. Do you understand? You can't outsmart me. You can't, not now. Maybe 30 years ago, but you can't outsmart me now. Let that marinade. Have a delicious and flavorful Cinco de Mayo.
I had to ask this question about Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. What egregious thing did black people do to him? He's a black man that's pushing black people back to laws that were erased 300 years ago. Why is he doing this? Can money really make a man betray his race? I know he got to have grandkids that are black. When he's dead, he stripped their legacy away from them. I know you got to have nephews and nieces who are black. So, he's attacking his own family. What type of mentality does this man have? Because he's proven everything Anita Hill said about him is true. I'm not going to get into the thing calling him Uncle Tom because we all know what he is, but why does he hate his own people? That's the thing I'm looking at. Why is he agreeing to all of this?
Clarence Thomas is actually a DEI hire. He was put in there by the Bush administration after Clarence Thomas died. After Thurgood Marshall died.
Thurgood Marshall, yeah.
So Thurgood Marshall was off the court. So they went, where can I find a nigga who will do... Because there weren't that many conservative black people back then.
Right, they needed to find a Republican black judge.
And he was it. I think he was in charge of the Fed. I don't think he was even a judge. I think he was a lawyer, but
he wasn't a judge?
I think, don't misquote me, but I'll say this. He was so unremarkable that for decades he said...
Yes, before being appointed Supreme Court, he was a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Columbia Circuit.
Right, and so he was an unremarkable judge.
Okay.
But MAGA loves unremarkable people. MAGA picks black men the same way white dudes pick dogs. They want obedient dogs. They want dogs that do what they want. Name me a remarkable black man they pick. Is Tim Scott remarkable? Is Byron Donalds remarkable? Is Clarence Thomas remarkable? They'll never have a street, a library, or have a stamp. Their whole reason for existing is because they're amenable, they're obedient.